So I've always had this idea for a long time, and this is basically about like wanting to make a Roblox game. So I've always wanted to make a Roblox game at such a young age, and because I was really passionate about it, I loved what I was actually doing, which is actually trying to build projects, right? I love building with friends. I love, wanting to, have a group to make a whole game, like a huge like city game. If you ever watch my old videos, which were like the how to make a city videos, and it's been like almost 5 years I've been doing this shit, and my PC is so annoying. Can you imagine like the whole fucking background noise? I might think about selling my PC, honestly, bro. Holy shit, bro. Why am I getting these noises? Can you just hear the background? Can you just hear the fucking background? Like, it's so fucking annoying, bro. It's so fucking annoying. Like, dude, my PC just keeps fucking making noises every single time. It's not that it's bad. I like my PC. It handles a lot. It has like an RTX 3060, and it has a 16 gigabytes of RAM, and it has a Ryzen 7, which is nice. But the problem is, it just keeps making the fucking noises, bro. But while it's making noises, let's just keep talking, right? So the thing is, the problem is why you shouldn't really want to make a Roblox game is because the problem is that there's so many guys who are really good at the thing, who are really passionate about what they do, but the problem is they don't really know how to market themselves properly, right? The thing that I wish I could have done is that I wish I could have just kept posting a little bit more and figured out the niche that I wanted to make, right? I wanted to make the niche of the product that I actually want to sell. I didn't know that I could have actually sold a product back then when the how to make a city video just blew up, right? And if I were to focus on that, as selling that as a product, I'd be making fuck ton of money, right? So one thing I've learned is that you don't want to start something that you're passionate about. You don't want to start a business that you're really passionate about, because the truth is, when you start a business that you're passionate about, you're never going to make the time to actually focus on your passion, right? It's basically like starting a cupcake business. When you're basically starting a cupcake business, you are not going to have the time to make cupcakes, right? You are going to learn all the stuff that has to come with marketing, writing, speaking, marketing, sales. I wish I could have learned these things before I monetized my passion. And that's the reason why so many people, so many actors, so many Twitch streamers, so many, developers, like, they're fucking dead broke because they don't know how to monetize themselves. They don't know how to build their own personal brands. And that's the power of social media these days. And that's the reason what's so good about social media is the fact that people are able to monetize what they're doing with their personal brand, to show themselves off of social leverage, social authority, which is the only way for them to actually market themselves and for them to stand out, right? Another thing is that everyone needs to learn these skills. Even if it's copywriting, even if it's sales, even if it's marketing, even if it's speaking, everyone needs to learn these 4 things in order to, let's say later on monetize something else, because these things are very lucrative. Everyone needs to learn these things. And that's the thing that I wish I could have learned. And that's the reason why it was so hard for me to actually build my own ICP, which is my ideal customer profile. Because number one, I wasn't realizing it. I wasn't realizing that I was able to actually build my own like true fans. And when these videos blew up, I wasn't able to attract my full audience, which is so sad that I just couldn't able to actually monetize. I didn't know I could actually be able to monetize. But another thing is because I fucking hated it. Now that I actually monetized my passion, I hated it because I didn't have because I wouldn't really be making the time to focus on the developing part. I wouldn't be making time building cities. I wouldn't be making time building for other fucking dumbass people, fucking 15-year-olds, 14-year-olds, right? I wouldn't be making time for these people. And I would have to focus on all the stuff that has to come with the marketing, how YouTube works, how, copywriting, email marketing, how articulation works, how psychology works, how social media works. Like, those are things that everyone has to learn before they go in and monetize their passions. And that's the reason why I hate that aspect of like, oh yeah, follow your passion and money flows. It's a fucking cope, dude. You don't need to, like, that's the thing I don't like about these people, that there's so many guys who are really good at what they do, but the problem is that they don't know how to market it. You see this in so many talented people, in athletes, in actors, in Twitch streamers, and all these people. Like, there are some of these guys who are fucking dead broke. Some of these people are actually dead broke. And I know this because I started doing some research, and I started spending some time with these people, with like how much money they make. And I see this from my own experience because I haven't made that much money from Roblox developing, even though I'm really passionate about it. But the truth is, I would have to spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, and I ever have the time to actually spend with the people that I actually love or even enjoy life. And that's why everyone needs to learn writing or sales or marketing and speaking. Everyone has to learn these things in order to survive. Everyone needs to learn sales in order to survive. And that's the problem I see with, so many guys, right? If you think about like McDonald's, for an example, like McDonald's, they make the worst burgers, right? Like, they make the worst burgers, but the problem is that they're really good at advertising it. They're really good on actually displaying it into the market, right? Because all the stuff you actually see in McDonald's, like it's just really good at how they do with their advertising, because that's just really good at marketing. They're really good at marketing. You think about Ray Kroc, he's really good at marketing his products, right? But does he actually know how to cook? Does he know how to flip burgers? Does he know how to do these things? No, he doesn't. He just hires people. He just leverages people, right? And it's basically from the thing that I've learned from the book The E-Myth Revisited. Let me show you. It's from this book, The E-Myth Revisited, which is actually a really good book. I haven't finished the book yet, but at least it helped me build a lot more clarity. And also from the book The Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is also a good book, which also gave me a lot more clarity. And also the book The Millionaire Fastlane, right? Because the truth is, it's almost like the technician, you know, the entrepreneur, the technician, and all that stuff. And the same applies when it comes to many creators, right? When it comes to, you know, big YouTubers, right? Like they also have to hire an editor too, because you have to understand that money loves speed, right? And from what I've learned from this book is the fact that, you know, you can't be the jack of all trades. You have to focus on just one thing and then have someone else be outsourced. Have someone else do the work. And that's what I see so many like entrepreneurs fail, because they have this big ego that they can actually do this whole thing. If you think about like, let's say about like Sam Ovens, for an example, like the owner of School, right? Like I don't know if he actually knows how to code, but when people actually build their own SaaS companies, like the guy who owns the SaaS company, he doesn't know how to code. So he hires someone else to make code in order to build that SaaS company, in order to build that software company. You know what I mean? So like, that's the thing. And I also see this in so many guys who are also planning on thinking about wanting to make a game on Roblox too. Like if you think about the guys who create Roblox games, like I remember I literally wanted to work for a few games on Roblox long term, right? The owner doesn't know how to build. He doesn't know how to script. He doesn't know how to animate. He's the entrepreneur. He hires the technicians, which is us, who are the builders, the scripters, the animators, the 3D modelers. Those kinds of people. They're basically technicians. The entrepreneur is the guy who is making the game, who is planning to make the game and solve a problem, who has a bright vision for the future, right? So that's the thing too, and that's the problem I see in so many Roblox developers. And I made this stupid mistake that I think that once I get really good at the game, like once I get really good at building and scripting and all these things, now I'll be able to actually monetize and actually start, you know, working with other people. No, you have to start now, and you can just hire other developers to actually work with you alongside that. So that's the thing too. Like you also have to, you know, hire people, right? You can't just do the whole work on yourself, because you're never gonna make the time. It's gonna take such a long time to actually sell a product and also market it, to also write it down, to also advertise it, to do these things. Like you're never gonna really have that much of the time to devote all of things at once. Like you also have to hire someone else, especially like the entrepreneur who hires a technician, who hires the guy who makes the cupcakes, right? Because the guy who owns the cupcake business, he doesn't make cupcakes. He hires someone to make cupcakes. You know what I mean? So that's the biggest mistake. And I see this in myself when I started making YouTube videos. Like I literally learned how to do Premiere Pro. I learned Photoshop at 12. I learned most of these things on my own. And I did everything else on my own. And I did have a big ego for that, but did it really give any sort of results? No. Did I ever get any sort of understanding to how YouTube works? No. So many people who started YouTube really early, they got really ahead of me because they know this whole power of leverage from what this book has to offer, right? But that's why at the same time, like, you have to put practicality first. You have to put skills to the test first. You have to learn how to build skills, how to build writing, speaking, marketing, sales. Like if you learn these things, and that's how you're able to actually monetize anything that you're really passionate about, whether it's health, wealth, relationships, happiness. And that's the thing that I wish I could have learned for such a long time, that if I learned these 4 things and become really good at these 4 things, now I'm able to monetize what I like doing. Something that actually solves a problem, right? Because the entrepreneur is the problem solver. The entrepreneur is the one that has a bright vision for the future. So he doesn't have the option to make a fucking Roblox game by learning how to build, learning how to script, learning how to animate, because it takes so much of his time. His goal is to actually sell a product. So he hires the developers to actually work on a product. The same applies with film, like with the movie directors. And if you think about like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like they often hire actors, they hire, you know, producers, they outsource it to other people. They can't be the master of all of these things. Same applies with the guys who make the Roblox games. Same with the guys who are making games. They hire other people. even guys building SaaS companies, like they hire other people to do code. Does the CEO of the SaaS company even knows how to code? No, he just solves a problem. He makes the business plan, and then he later on hires the coders to actually do it for them. And that's how it applies with Roblox developing. So yeah, if you ever want to get in touch and learn more from my own journey alongside the way, you can actually feel free to join my newsletter, by the way. And as well, yeah, so that is actually it. That's just some things that I recently am sharing what I'm learning. And yeah, I'll see you guys right there.